response is very aggressive. Guys, we are finally back in the G82. Alec is filming. We flashed MHD Plus on the car. I haven't driven this thing since October. We still think a front lower control arm on the right side needs to be replaced, so I'm not going crazy, but the car is warm. So let's see if it remembers any of my settings. Oh no, it doesn't. Let's see if the valve controller still works. Oh yeah, the valve controller still works. You can actually hear the car now. We are now in 6th gear. The burbles are on. We did flash that. I am not gonna go crazy because, you know, getting back into a car like this, it still needs to warm up. All the components still need to kind of match up to each other again after not being driven for so long. Feels good though. Let's see what that sounds like on the outside, guys. It doesn't sound that bad. Oh my gosh. As always, I would say the comeback is better than the setback. And this car allows us to have a pretty strong comeback. Let's see what the turning is like with the suspension where it is right now. Not too bad. So we're running 93 octane, pretty old gas, honestly. I was gonna go to the gas station, but I need to head back for a call. Alec's probably super busy. We're gonna put this thing back in the shop, but it feels great to have it out here. It has 53 miles of range. I was worried that the gas was on empty, but we're good. We're not gonna worry about running out of gas in this thing. Thank you so much, Alec.
Yeah, dude.
All right, guys, this is the rear right of the car. The control arm has been replaced on both rear right and rear left.
Watch your head.
Hit my head there, but alignment sheet is back. We got 2.9 degrees in the left rear, 2.8 in the right rear, which is really nice. If you look at this side of the car, you would think that nothing's wrong with it. We just have paint body work now. We're gonna put the MHD tune on the car, so off-the-shelf map to begin with. The MHD flex fuel adapter I think is on there already. And so that means we can run any ethanol content that we want. I brought my phone, it's tied to my MHD account. We have the adapters, and I'll try to get some footage now of us actually flashing the off-the-shelf map onto the car, guys. But here we go, almost to the finish line.
I see it, but it's right here.
Alec is showing us where the flex fuel kit is installed. This is the MHD branded one, so it does give us in real time, you know, what the ethanol content is on the car, and it perfectly blends into the MHD flex fuel map. So if I really wanted to, I could fill up with any content and it will adapt, but there's really no reason to above like E40 to E50 until we do like port injection. But when you go on port injection, you might as well do big turbo. So I think, you know, that's like in stages. People talk about stages. Port injection and big turbo would be after this. This is like the OEM plus stage with a tune on it, you know. But ethanol on this car is outrageous. Actually, it's full bolt-on basically. And an E40 blend will do like 700 wheel horsepower on this. So plenty of power, guys. You can see the damage is still here. We're gonna replace this wheel, refinish the one in the front. They still look pretty good, but just to be safe. Then the wing tips, the wing struts are gonna get painted frozen black. Feels good to see the car after such a long time. I think the wing struts are oxidizing, or exposure to the sun has done that. So once we paint that frozen black, it's gonna look nice. Again, the trim on the rear bumper diffuser, that's gonna be frozen black. Side skirts, frozen black. And then the splitter, which is actually carbon fiber painted gloss black, we're gonna paint that frozen black. New canards, new grille. And the tune, guys, it should rip. Can't wait to get videos of this driving.
1 second.
No worries, no worries. We're putting the tender on, guys. During the flash process, don't want to brick the ECU from the battery dying. Been a minute since we've looked at the interior. Man, I missed this car. Since October, guys. We're already pushing middle of January. And we might get a chance to go take this out for a spin, see how the alignment is, because the caster is a little bit off from the left front to the right front. So let's see what that feels like. Maybe we'll have to tweak the alignment afterwards. Salam! So guys, we flashed MHD. We used the orange adapter, connected to Wi-Fi, activated the license on my phone. This is on the multi-map flex fuel setup, so you actually have to set up everything to run on 91 octane as the base map. We selected stage 2 because the car does have an exhaust and intake. And we did install the ethanol sensor, the MHD ethanol sensor, which means that it's getting a live reading of the ethanol content in the car, which is now probably 10% because it's on pump gas. So we'll back this thing out of here. They always have some pretty cool German cars in here. Got a Benz, Audi. I think that's an older, early 2000s Audi in the back, and a Porsche. But it is nice to see this thing alive, rolling, aligned. We got to check the caster. I think we might have to replace something else in the front right, probably a lower control arm, because the front right caster is a degree higher than the front left. So we'll get that squared away, guys. But it is just nice to see this thing rolling. That's normal for the car has such big spaces on it that it actually rubs the fenders. So wide, I should say, so wide. After driving that Mitsubishi, you get used to such a small turning radius. It's gonna be interesting to drive this thing. So guys, we're at Solo. You can see they got a ton of classic cars back here. Always busy, even got Bentley over here. And yeah, so we back this thing out, take it on the road, see what it's like. This is the side that's damaged. It really doesn't look that bad, guys. I think another 3-4 weeks, we should have her back up and running. What's good, fam? We are back in the M4, the 2025 M4. I have MHD flashed on the car, but I'm also going to walk you through what it's like to actually put MHD on your car, okay? So I have my iPhone, I have the MHD app, I have the super tuning license, which comes with the ability for you to custom flash the car and also do off-the-shelf maps. It also has data logging. So first thing, we're going to hit start stop 3 times. That's going to put the car into diagnostic mode, okay? Next thing is on your phone, you want to go to Wi-Fi and you want to connect to the MHD app. To do that, you'll go into the networks and you'll click the MHD network right there. Boom, okay? Go into the MHD Flasher app, or just the MHD app in general. And what you want to do is you want to hit Flash MHD map. Okay, it's going to contact the DME. And now you're going to have a bunch of options. Stage 0, Stage 1, Stage 2, MHD Plus multi-map. So we have MHD Plus, which means that I can run any amount of flex fuel ethanol on the fly changes, so any level of ethanol. So what we want to do for MHD multi-map on a flex fuel setup is make sure that Stage 1 and Stage 2 have 91 octane selected. I'm clicking Stage 2 here because I have a full exhaust on the car. So if you have downpipes, you know what I mean, like, you can put Stage 2 there. And then for the map slots, they'll all be on 91 octane. That's what you want to select when you do the flex fuel setup with multi-map. You want to make sure that all the slots have 91 octane on them. A little bit interesting, but just something that you got to do. Then you click in the top right corner, and that'll get you to the next screen here. It shows you what you're flashing and also the options. So in the options, you have the ability to set up the CAN bus ethanol content analyzer. We have the MHD one. That's why it's selected. Enable flex fuel is selected. Anti-lag is selected. Currently have a boost target of 10 PSI. I need to do a little bit more research on how to activate anti-lag, but future video coming. All right. And then allow MHD plus controls, allow map switch. You can actually switch the maps on the fly, but we're on the flex fuel multi-map, so we don't need to do that. And you can also do your exhaust setup. So I have aftermarket for downpipes. We've removed the top speed, so there's no longer a top speed limiter. This car can do 200. Increase iDrive power and torque gauges for maximum values. So horsepower and torque on the iDrive screen will now actually show what the car is capable of. We're pushing 700 plus wheel horsepower right now, guys. We have exhaust burble up. The duration right now is on the low side. Aggressiveness is hard. Minimum RPM, max RPM. You can change all these exhaust burble noises. I have cold start turned off. I just don't like that massive, you know, cold start noise. Exhaust flap always open in sport mode selected, and startup roar selected. Shift wrap selected. Sport cooling mode for intercooler. That is where MHD overrides the car's factory cooling software and actually pushes maximum cooling to the intercooler. It's helpful when you're at the drag strip, when you're at the staging lanes and you're sitting for a while. It helps your car reduce the intake air temperature that's coming through, so you can achieve, you know, full boost when you're going for a max effort run. All right, guys, so let's turn the car on. Woo! Sounds good. I'm gonna put it into M mode. So we'll select track, activate track. We'll go into my M1 settings, and the valve should be open. I have a valve controller as well, but with an MHD tune, when you're in sport mode, it'll always have the valves open. But the valve controller is still handy because I can do it on the fly whenever I want. Just give you guys an idea of what it sounds like right now. Sounds pretty good. We're gonna go to setup. So M1 right now for me, Sport Plus on the engine settings, S3 for transmission, Comfort chassis, steering sport, brake sport, DSC off, four-wheel drive sport for MX drive. And when you're on four-wheel drive, you know, you won't have M traction control for degrees of slip. But M2 is where I like to go in rear-wheel drive mode. So we'll do everything the same, except chassis, again, comfort, steering, brake, sport, DSC off, but M2, I do two-wheel drive, and that's where you can get the traction control, the 10 stages of traction control. I have all the way off. But yeah, this should be a lot of fun. Let's get set up with the head strap set, and let's get a POV drive with the car tuned. All right, guys, we are in the G82. It is now tuned courtesy of Solo Motorsports on MHD Plus. We are running the off-the-shelf flex fuel setup. We have the MHD ethanol content analyzer in the car. It's gonna take it for a quick spin and go to the local ethanol pump to put E50 in this thing and see how it holds up. Woo. Sounded pretty good. Just like old times, guys, but now we have a tuned car. I am gonna mess with the burbles. We do still need to adjust a little bit of the front right suspension. We're using the factory navigation here to pull up the shell on Hell Mill, so let's get over there. 15 minutes. That's fine. We'll fill up the car with E85 there and then come back. We have a full flex fuel car, guys. Why not enjoy the cost savings of running on flex fuel? Whew. So quick rundown. We have the Mastery of Art and Design cold air intakes, the Mastery of Art and Design mid pipes and down pipe. So I have the single non-resonated mid pipe, the catless Fat Boy down pipes. I have O2 spacers from Big Daddy's garage to prevent the check engine light, but that doesn't really matter now because we have a tune. When you go catless without a tune, normally you get a check engine light. We have actually not a full coilover, but basically a lowering spring with a perch, so a height adjustable kit, and I have mine fully dropped all the way down, and I have 20mm spacers all the way around. All the mods are in the description, guys, but damn, it feels good to be driving this car right now. It still needs paint and body work, but damn, it sounds good. Always the CLAs that are doing dumb shit. So that is sick, guys. Let's see, when I have the GoPro connected to my phone, I can't actually what's it called, connect Wi-Fi to connect CarPlay wirelessly to the car, because you can only have one Wi-Fi connection on at once. So let's connect my phone to the car now and see how that goes. Everything feels good about the car, guys. It's just that right front suspension, I know we need to tweak it a little bit. Have to get off the GoPro network. Now we're in the CarPlay settings. Hit connect new device in the car. There's my phone. Oh ho! We may have to be stationary for this to go through, guys. That's all right. Go back to the map. I did have Spotify on this car. I don't want to get hit with any copyright strikes, guys, but let's see. I have been updating the Music Monday playlist, guys. You gotta check that out. Listening to a lot of Laser Dim. Where's he at? Where is he at? Let's see. There is he. There it is. There it is. But this traffic's pretty normal, guys. It's rush hour. It just feels good to be back in the car. Alright guys, we're gonna try and get this done real quick. Get CarPlay set up. Didn't want to go. That's alright. Car is warm. That burble is just outrageous. Let me see if I can turn off my phone, turn it back on, and maybe that'll work. that didn't work either.
Nice car, I like your car.
I appreciate it, man. I got a YouTube if you want to check it out.
You got a YouTube?
Yeah, it's called Unlockable Character.
Oh, you said unlockable what?
Unlockable Character.
Alright, man.
You gotta self-promote, guys. It's not always easy, you know what I mean? But people in Atlanta, they're usually in a good mood, they're funny, and they support the channel, man, you know? Oh my god. So the flex fuel tune right now is really on like 2-3 gallons of 93 octane. We're about to go to Shell over at Howell Mill, and we can put in they have E50 there, literally at the pump, so we can fill it up fully with E50. And from that point, the car will probably settle into like an E40, E45 blend. And for those that don't know, the winter fuel blends are actually worse than the summer fuel blends. So ethanol in the winter is better if you can run it than even 93 octane. You know, all year round, ethanol is better than 93 octane, but the 93 octane for the winter months, that blend is worse than the 93 octane in the summer months. It's something that, you know, it's a known thing. Oh my god, it's loud, guys. I'm not sure why my car is not connecting to my phone though. There we go. I think we got it now, guys. Sweet. That should work. Nice. We have CarPlay, guys. It's crazy to see how big this freaking screen is. I'm gonna go into rear wheel drive so we can have some fun, see what that's like. in M2 with rear-wheel drive mode when I'm letting off the throttle. This is the Howell Mill area, guys. West of Midtown, close to downtown. You can cut across downtown to get to Howell Mill. Back where Solo is at is right where the Mercedes-Benz Stadium is at, where the Atlanta soccer and football teams play. God, I have missed driving this car so much, guys. Oh man. Traffic has not been too bad. We are literally coming up on rush hour, guys. Alright guys, let's go through the MHD process to flash MHD really quickly. So you need your ECU obviously unlocked with Femto. Next thing you need is the orange MHD adapter, which goes into the OBD port, you know, to the left underneath there. And then on your phone, you want to go into the Wi-Fi and actually connect to that MHD wireless adapter, okay? So I've already done that. Start, stop button on the car 3 times to put in diagnostic mode. Then open up the MHD map, flash an MHD map. It's going to contact the DME. We're going to go to MHD plus multi-map. Make sure all the map slots are on 91 octane because we're going to run the flex fuel setup. I've already filled the car up with ethanol. We just got finished with the pump. And now what we're going to do is go into the options for burbles. And I'm going to turn it up all the way and see what happens. So the duration, maybe well, not all the way. Let's do 1 second because that's a long duration. And 1.5 seconds in sport. Aggressiveness hard. Minimum RPM, I'll say, yeah, 1200 is fine. Max 5000, yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Max speed for burbles, we'll do 115 miles an hour. And then let me show you how fast this is. So we'll go back and then map right. Now it is actually preparing the map file, communicating. We're gonna see some errors come up. It's now flashing the ECU. It's normal to have errors come up during this process. It's pretty quick. Last time it took, honestly, about 30 seconds. And for a wireless adapter using Wi-Fi, it's super fast. I still remember the days where we had to have like ThinkPad, Windows laptops connected. And it took minutes. Like, I'm not lying, it sometimes took 5-10 minutes and you'd be, you know, worried, sweating in the car, like, am I gonna brick my ECU? So it looks like it's restarting the DME, clearing codes, success. And it says wait 30 seconds. So now we're gonna wait 30 seconds. As we're waiting, you know, the car is going to throw some codes here and there, and then it's just going to go away, as you see. But it can be nerve-wracking, but, you know, after you go through this a few times, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? you get used to it. So let's do a little bit more driving on the way back to Solo, and then we'll cap it there for today. All right, let's go. All right, fam, previewing it on my phone. Let us get started. Let me roll the windows down, put this thing into track mode really quickly and start it up. We have cold start removed, but we do have a startup roar enabled in the tune. So let's see what that sounds like. Okay, chassis stabilization, that's not good. We may have to clear codes, guys, 1 sec. And we have to go to setup again to change the setup, because when you flash the car, you lose your setup options. Sport Plus, S3, chassis comfort, steering sport, brake sport, DSC off, activate anyway. All right, that's fine. And then for M2, I'm gonna do everything sport, chassis comfort, but we're gonna make this the rear wheel drive settings. There we go. All right, now I need to disconnect from the Wi-Fi settings that are connected to the GoPro app and connect to the car through MHD. So much for Wi-Fi, you know what I mean? Like, I wish you could have multiple Wi-Fi connections at once, but really with a phone you can only have one. So there we go, connect to my MHD. There we go. Here we are, let's look at the codes. All of them are transmission related, which is fine. I am running the XHP software transmission tune as well as the MHD ECU tune right now. So boom. Okay, we're good to go. Sometimes blow dryers make no sense. I mean, the people who are doing like leaf blowing, there's no leaves or anything right now. Trying to hear if I hear anything scraping or anything, guys. So this whole area is considered West Midtown. It's really been built up in the last 2-3 years. All of it was pretty much under construction, and now there's a lot of cool places to hang out and eat and grab a bite to drink, you know, not a bite to drink, grab a drink or a bite to eat. Throttle response is very aggressive. Definitely very aggressive compared to the stock tune. Oh, the brakes feel so good. So good compared to the rental car I had. Kind of ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Just absurd, guys. So that's a brand new hotel there by the Ben Stadium, Signia by Hilton. So busy after each game. If you're trying to take an Uber or something, you probably have to wait like 30-45 minutes after the game ends to actually get an Uber. The easiest thing is actually to take MARTA to the Ben Stadium and then take MARTA back to like Midtown or downtown before you get an Uber, because just trying to get picked up after a game is a very tiring experience.